you come from the heart and connect to the heart, people let their walls down. Their boundaries are gone. So I think that in that way, I'm thankful that that's the way my writing comes out, because really it is just me seeking the answers within myself and really just being present with the things that I'm feeling in my heart. And that's the way it comes out, and that's the way it connects to people, because I have an interest in getting people to, or telling people how to think or what to think. I have an interest in getting them to feel what they already know.
Mm.
We lose touch with it. So that truth in who we are is already there. You know, that God that's within us, that is there, always there, will never be gone, is that truth.
And that never forgets that it's
know.
love.
Yeah,
it never forgets that it's love.
That love is there, and we know it. We forget it. You know, we come knowing it, and then we forget. And it's because that truth is there. They already know. You know, so on our day-to-day living, we lose touch with that. And what I try to encourage people to do in my devotions is just to feel it. You know, feel your life, feel the joy, and feel what you already know. Because it's there. It never goes anywhere.
Absolutely. This would be a wonderful, wonderful piece of literature for any self-help groups or any individual who is wanting to open themselves to feeling more. We talked about how we are distracted by feelings of inadequacy and the ensuing, just pursuits of things that will fill us up to make us feel adequate. And we were talking about that on our greatesthour.mypodcast.com, that podcast, because it's really something that has created an entire epidemic of this okayness with not feeling.
Yeah.
Just push it away. Feed it. Eat more, drink more, do drugs, and all of us have had experiences with that. All of us have had, whether it's someone close to us or we have indulged ourselves. We don't want to feel the negative things. We do always want to be in that space of love, and those euphoric drugs and good food and everything gives us that kind of temporary euphoria. But what would you say to someone in the throes of addiction about the gift that is within them?
Well, it comes recently, about 8 months ago, my younger sister passed from an overdose on oxycodone. And in that process of dealing with that and understanding, because to have the gift doesn't mean, people sometimes mistake my positivity and my perception on things as not feeling, and in that I was going through this process, and I had some other things that I was dealing with that was a bit hard at the same time of all of this happening. And my mantra to myself was, I don't want to feel better, I just want to be better. And what we do in so many times in our life is we want to feel better, so we pacify these things that we deal with in our life, and we pacify them with many different things, whatever addictions it could be, or whatever ways that we want to consume our time. We pacify these so-called struggles that we face in our life instead of seeing them as opportunities to grow and become more aware of who we are, because it's a part of who we will become through these experiences. So my whole focus on this process was to be better and not to feel better, and that's what I've done throughout my life. Is I never want to just feel better about anything negative that I experience. I want to be better, and by being better, I allow myself to feel those times of really deep pain, those times of loss, and those emotions that make us feel uncomfortable. And what happens is people feel uncomfortable to face them. So instead of facing them, we hide from them. And we find something to fulfill that void and avoid it. And as time goes on, we push them further away. And that's the way that we've created our society. We find so many things to pacify our time and our pains and our struggles that we never allow ourselves to become from them or grow from them. With addictions, that's something that I've never personally had a problem with a specific addiction, so it's something that I've always tried to understand, and until recently I didn't completely, because I have a friend that's one of the greatest friends that I have that has been struggling with an addiction, and he's one of the strongest people that I've ever known. And when I saw how much he was being controlled by his addiction, I realized this is no joke. Like this isn't him anymore. This is this addiction. So, and in that, even with talking with him, I still realize where there's just things that he never processed fully through, that he never got through, because there's always this pacification that needs to happen. So whether it be an addiction or caught up in our jobs, or wrapped up in, like you were saying, our ego of like, this is who I am, now I'm an author, or whatever it is, our titles at work or the fancy cars that we're driving, there's still little things that are outside of us, that are outside of who we are, that pull us and pull us and pull us from the gift.
Okay, and all we need to do is go back to that place where we last remember where we left it, and go back and pick it up.
Yeah. And it's of course I have complete compassion for all of us, in our I don't want to say struggle, but in the efforts in trying to balance this human experience with our spiritual experience and all that. I have to remind myself all the time. Part of me writing these books are really part of me helping